Hey guys, and welcome back to the Interceptor. So we are here with war number 6 of season 21, and this is going to be against Tiffany's Lover. So Tiffany's Lover is an alliance that's always been in Masters, and this is actually them in their Shell alliance. So they actually named it something different. Not really sure why. It's not named Tiffany's Lover like their main alliance, but you can tell this is the same alliance because of all the members. So we did recognize them from when we used to face Tiffany's Lover. But yes, this is the alliance Tiffany's Lover, just in a different alliance, or maybe they changed their name. I'm not sure. But either way, we have a rank 3 thing boss today, which is very common. But we are not going to be taking that. So we are going to be bringing in the team of Magic, Warlock, and Torch. I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. So you see Magic, Warlock, Torch. And I think everyone has at least 2 fights. Magic has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fights. Torch has 2. And Warlock has 2. Yeah, okay. So next we'll go into the Magic fight. So this is Magic on aggression armor. So there's really nothing going on here. I think the best placement on this node is probably Iron Man Infinity War, but there's better placements on the map for Iron Man Infinity War, so you don't really want to waste yours on this node, as someone like Ghost or Captain Marvel movie or Corvus will just make it an absolute joke and pick up a few charges if you're using Corvus in the meanwhile. Yeah. So we're trying to get Magic to throw the L1s just so that the chance to activate Limbo doesn't increase. So we're just going to power lock her right here, and she's not going to get a bar of power for the rest of the fight. So it's a very safe fight. I'm just going to skip through the rest of it, as you guys are just going to see me use Magic the exact same way I always do. It's just trapping in the corner, throwing the L2. So that fight is over, and we'll go into the next fight. And this is going to be Sasquatch on the Fury node, Fury buildup, or Strike Counter Fury. We're taking this with Torch. I can't use my pre-fight because I do need it for another fight. But this fight is probably fine without the pre-fight. So this guy actually didn't place with max Limber. You can tell by the stun duration. But really not an issue here. So what we want to do is we want to throw in 1 to 2 heavies. Probably 1 heavy is the best cycle. Right there, I should have used the heavy in hindsight, because he actually did get 2 of the passive Furies, and the whole point of throwing the L1 is A, to keep your temperature up, but mainly it's for those Furies, to keep those Furies down, because if you do get hit, you just get melted instantly. Any mistake you make results in instant death, always. So they're up to 6 Furies. This part lagged. I tried editing it out, but all that happened in the middle of that is he reached his wrath, and he threw an L1, and I evaded it. So we're just going to wait it out, but we actually hit a nice intercept there. We bait the L2. Right there, I probably should have countered and tried to push to his L2, but right here I'm going to mess up. So he comes in at me, I parry, and I don't dex the second half. I went into this fight, I was like, okay, the only way I could possibly die to this fight is if I accidentally block the second half of his L1, because I know that it stuns. I know that. But for some reason, I didn't do it. I don't know why. So we're just going to clean this up with Magic. So Magic basically ignores the Fury build-up node, because you throw so many L2s, and damage from the increased block damage from the Furies actually gets negated by your Limbo, and you actually heal more whenever you have Limbo. And to compensate with that for healing less or not healing at all when you don't have Limbo and you parry, I think it's just enough compensation. So we're barely going to lose much health in this fight. So we're going to throw another L2 here. We're already at 92%. So we really just did not lose much. I don't think my notifications are off. There we go. And now we're going to go to this Mojo. So this is rank 3 Mojo on Power Snag. It's a decent placement. A good enough Quake player could take this if they didn't get the bad prompts over and over and over again. but I do believe Magic to be the best counter, and you don't even need a special 1 boost. There are a couple champs on this node. When you're using Magic, I would suggest using a special 1 boost, such as champs where you can't fully evade the L1 without activating Dex, or the heavy, I don't know. But yeah, so there's really not much to this fight. We're just going to trap him in the corner power locked, and 2 more combos, so 1 more combo here. We're going to hit the parry, and then he is fully power locked, so he will not get another bar of power for the rest of the fight. Yeah, it's just a really safe fight. There's not really too much to it. So here we're going to just hit some intercepts, and I'm going to throw the L2. I think I'll go for 1 more intercept. Yeah, so he's going to reach the bar of power here, but he never gets a chance to use it. So now he's at 69%. And I would skip through this fight, but this is a fight I've not shown on my channel before. But it's literally exactly the same as fighting Doom on this node. There's not much to it. So I do get hit there just for fun, because why not spice it up a bit? Get my health a little down. But unfortunately it's not low enough to activate courage, so it doesn't matter. But you can't gain power from backup recovery if you're power locked, if the power lock resets. So we did reset the power lock, and it just completely bypasses the node. And use a special attack, so we are not going to complete the prompt, so we're going to intentionally Dex there to waste time. And I knew since he was power locked, he would not gain a burst of power from power stack, just that we would lose the dexterity, and I'm not really too concerned about that. So we're at 64%. The fight's coming to a close here. We are playing this parry style. Whenever I take anyone on this node, I always play it parry style just because it's super safe. Except there was one war this season where I did full intercept style the entire fight, and it went really nicely. But here we're just going to build up to one more L1, and it crits, but even without a crit, I think the limbo damage and the hit damage combined would have killed. So 123 and 3, not bad. So I didn't end up taking this cord because I don't have Quake with me today. And we're going to go for this rank 3 6-star Domino on Spite and Powerful from Afar. So of course I have taken this fight before, but I always use an invulnerability boost when I go in. Turns out this person plays with suicides. I'm pretty sure this person placed all of their defenders in section 2. They didn't have any in section 1, so there's no way I could have known that going in. No one else would have fought this person's champs. But yeah, this is just a complete joke. The reason that you throw on an invulnerability boost going into this fight is because if this person places without willpower, you're not able to rely on power drain them enough. So if they do place with willpower, it's just a free fight. But until we have that confirmed, I'm always going to use an invulnerability boost going into that fight, although I could tank an L3 and still survive. So now we're going to go into this Ebony Maw fight. Do still have the invulnerability boost up, but this is where we're actually going to use Torch's pre-fight. In hindsight, probably should have used it on the first fight because I could have won, but that's alright. It's not a big deal. I messed up. I do die this season, but that death right there is the only death that has to do with skill. So when I die other times this season, you guys are going to see the reasons. But even in my season recap that I already recorded, because season rewards came out a few days ago, I said that is the only death that has to do with skill. That was my bad. I messed up. The other 2 deaths had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with skill. So now we're going to go tanked another L3, just because I didn't really feel like baiting his L2 and activating Dex on the evade. So we're just going to tank an L3 and he's going to drop. So very nice, 32 and 7. Now we'll go into this next node, which is going to be R3 Doom on Powerful from Afar, Kinetic Transference. So this is basically just a combination of the last 2 fights. And this is one of the nodes that Doom is better on. However, Magic is just a complete counter and absolutely shreds this fight. If you're using Nick Fury, you don't have to use a vulnerability boost because he's stun immune in the first life, and you can probably kill him fast enough to not need the second life. But with Magic, it's just a joke. 10 seconds in, the fight's already won. This fight's already over. I already know it is. It doesn't matter how I play. I'm going to win this fight. So now we'll just skip ahead to the end. So you'll see we're doing the exact same strategy the entire fight. As it comes to a close, I'll just show off the end of the fight. So I did play parry style this whole fight, and that completely counters kinetic transference when he is power locked. So that is the ideal play style. We're going to get down to 58% here, or 55%, but it actually doesn't end up mattering because that is Magic's last fight of the war. And I have one more fight this war, and then we actually have a feature from Fintech, and you'll see that. So we're going to take Apocalypse on this next node. This is going to be Power Focus 1, Unblockable Special 1, Hurt Locker mini, and this is one of the easier minis on the island. The whole left side is the easiest part of the mini island. The middle the first node on the right is also a joke, never gets kills, but the middle one and then the two on the right occasionally get kills because they're just really annoying with Stunning Reflection, Stupefy, and then there's also the one with Limber and Brute Force. So I've taken a rank 3 6-star on this node, and you'll notice we have tech boosts on. I just threw those on for the Domino, and it turns out that that's going to work out for this Apocalypse too. So I'm going to throw another L2 here. No, I'm not. Okay. I probably should have thrown my L2 right there. That's alright though. We're just going to get pushed to an L3 because I have to parry here. And that's alright. So we're going to throw our L3. So now he is actually going to be getting power drained from two sources. He's going to be getting power drained from our passive power drain whenever he is healing. That is from Warlock's abilities. And then also there's going to be a power drain, or power burn rather, on him that is going to sap away his power. That's comes from the L3. And then the L3 also makes you regen. So we did regen a bit, but it was only like 6%, so it's not a big deal. But that fight goes down, still at 88% health. I'm pretty happy about that. That's going to be the end of my war, but let's not show the results quite yet. We're actually going to go to a feature from Fintech. So Fintech is in my alliance. Of course, I brought him in this season, and he's going to be taking a rank 3 Thing boss with his rank 3 Tigra. So sorry about the poor quality of the video. Sending videos over line and then saving them just results in the video not being very good. So this is what the video looked like when I got it, but you can get the general idea. So with the neutralize on Tigra, you're actually going to completely counter all of the unstoppables that Finn gets. But I'm also not a Tigra pro, so I'm going to let Finn's video speak for itself. It's a very fast solo, actually. Once he starts really ramping up the damage, you guys will notice. Throwing that L1. And since he has Tigra Awakened, she's going to start with both of her... I don't know what those things are called. Both of the icons, the orange one and the blue one, but... yeah, they do something. I'm not really sure. So you can see she's actually losing the fight right now. But that's going to change very quickly. She's going to start winning when she gets a bunch of those ruptures on, and they're just doing so much damage. So right now you can't really see it, but Thing is at 57%, and he is at 51% right now. So he's still losing. But this L1 hits super hard, all those ruptures. And now the fight's in his control. He did activate Stubborn, but he was smart enough to block the correct hit, and then intercept with the unblockable L1. He blocked the right hit to remove Stubborn and then charge Heavy. So Finn was actually not able to duel this to practice. So he went in completely blind. He did not have Tigra at any star level other than 6-star. So he actually pulled Tigra from the Cav crystals. I think he bought like 2 Cav crystals and he got her. So there, you can see he is on Mystic Boost because he gets all that power back. But this Thing boss is almost dead. So one more heavy attack, and this thing boss goes down. So it's a very, very nice solo by Finn. Since I've recorded this, he's also taken one more thing boss, and he is 2 for 2. So that's awesome. That's a very, very impressive Tigra video. So now we'll go to the war results. We did end up winning this war. Of course, we weren't really too concerned about this alliance. We had a good start. And we did die 18 times. However, I think like 9 of those came in the last 5 fights because we had cleared enough early that they gave up, and they cleared, like, they still boosted, but they didn't max boost because they knew they had 0 chance to win. Because we would have died like 9 times if we continued boosting. And then we got to a point where we had 5 fights left. And even if we lost the max diversity, which was 15, we would still win by like 2 or 3 attack bonus. So we just told everyone to stop boosting. We won the war, and we died an extra few times, but that's all right. So that makes us 6-0 on the season. Unfortunately, I did pick up another death, so that is 2 deaths for me. But we are now 46 out of 48 for PSR, which is 96%. So of course, the goal of the season is 95% or higher. So we're still in that goal, but I'm really not happy with the way I performed so far this season. So I hope the second half of the season is going to be a little better. That's going to be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.